That's neutral. That's first. That's reverse. That's back to neutral. Second now, and then third. Hang on. That's neutral. That's second. That's third. That's reverse. That's neutral. That's second. That's third. This is how the hood comes down. Now you have to pull that up there, in effect. Have you got your fingers under it? Under that, and it rests on this rack, which acts also as a luggage rack when they pick this up. Over there, in the close position, this is underneath that and bolted through it with a turn screw. So the normal position for the seat, if you're using it, is like that. It's a bit of a suicide seat. You'll recall how flimsy these wings were. Well, now they're on and they're bolted there, screwed up the rear all the way around. This footrest for getting into the boot also stiffens it all up, so these wings are now quite solid, even though when they were off they appeared to be very, very flimsy. So I can now fill these and make a reasonable job of painting them. So that I could correctly locate this seal, I've fitted this panel, which has allowed me to also make up I've made a wooden bearing for the top end of that, and it is my intention to mount a little panel either side of that for some switches I need for this alternative engine. So that will eventually come off and be painted, as will this. It's just part of the setting up. This is the original steering wheel. Everybody says, is it the original steering wheel? I can certainly assure you that it is. It's obviously been cleaned up and polished. It's polished aluminium. This is the petrol tank. I think it's about 4 gallons. That's the tap for it, and that's the connection that will eventually go to the carburettor. And this tap is operable from inside the car. And this fits, these two brackets on here are what fix it to this bulkhead, so it fixes in this hole here. And I'll just offer it up for you to give you an idea. It fits in there, more or less like that. So to fill it, you have to lift the bonnet and open this thing and fill it. And you can operate, as I've said, cut the petrol off from inside the car. The access we have now down in this pit is the reason I've now moved up here with it, because not only do I have this pit access, I also have an overhead beam up there, which means I can move it easily and lift the engine in and out easily. So you get an idea of how things work down here. That's the steering shaft coming down to this steering box. It's a rack and pinion in here, which operates this lever through that to there. And that's the tie rod that ties them together, and obviously you get a view of the back plate and the brake and the rods that operate the brakes. And it's a leather cloth type fitting that goes over it and is just located and fixed by, in effect, string. So these, notwithstanding the condition they appear to be in, these bolts are 80 years old. You get a view of how I fixed the mountings for this alternative engine. That's one. The other one's up there. And this is where we pick up for that one. A bit close to here. I may adjust that and put it higher up eventually. And then there's this one at this side. This is the speedo cable. Have you ever seen one quite as long as this? There it is. It goes up there and it goes right to the back. You've got an idea of how all this works, but behind it here, this is what they call a torque tube, and the prop shaft runs through the middle of it, and it's actually mounted to the frame here at the front on a spherical seat, so that when that goes up and down at the back axle, it moves on this spherical seat at the front. That's the box for putting your tools in from under the seat. This is just a framework on which to mount a battery carrier. The original battery carrier I believe was at this side. In fact, there's the holes. I'm going to change it to that side because my exhaust comes down here now, whereas the original exhaust went down that side. That wheel is connected through the drive shaft, right through there, right through to that one. It's solid coupled to this one. There's no diff at all. So mounted within here on that shaft is a crown wheel and a pinion that's driven by this, so it's driven through a crown wheel and pinion system, and that's where the drive for the speedometer comes off. This springing at the back is fairly unusual in that it's what's called half elliptic. Normally on a full cart spring you'd have twice what you can see there, mounted as it's shown there. It's clamped at the front and hinged at the back, which allows the axle to go up and down. This is an original cap. The steel, and it says Peugeot across them. They're quite rusty and all you could do is paint them black. I decided to have 4 new ones made, and I've made them in brass. I've had them made in brass and had Peugeot printed on at great expense, and I've had them polished as well, so I've got 4 caps like that, and I think they'll look beautiful.